I have an amazing story of the week.
Well, you give your story.
And I'm going to give my story of the week. And it began by showing up at the White House as usual. And one of the things I wanted to do.
You did a great picture, by the way, I should say.
Well, this is it, because you have to have a lot of things cleared in advance, and if you don't have a hard pass, life is a little bit more difficult as a member of the press. You need to be escorted around or helped by somebody who has a permanent hard pass around their neck with their photo and news organization. So I went to the press office and I asked for a couple of things. I said, could I possibly be included in the pool that goes over to the Indian tribal nations celebration? They said, well, that's done by the White House Press Association, and there's only 10 people and 10 seats on the minivan. So, okay, I knew the answer to that one. Then the one thing I wanted to be able to do, because I saw it on the ITV documentary about Obama's White House, was I said, can I sign the swimming pool?
Yeah.
Because quite literally, the White House press room is built above the White House swimming pool. So literally, when you go down the stairs, and I had to have somebody with a hard pass escort me down there. So thank you to the C-SPAN director there, who got the Secret Service agent to open the door, because if you even touch the door, it sets off an alarm. But once it's opened by the Secret Service agent, you can go down and spend as much time as you want down there, and you just let them know. So you descend this staircase, and you realize that when you get to the bottom, you are in the swimming pool. You are literally in the tiles of the swimming pool. And they've put up corkboard walls, and a lot of people have signed that. And the guy said, no, here, take this Sharpie. And he said, what you want to do is you want to actually sign the pool itself. Now, underneath the press room are 6 miles of cables. Okay, and these cables are all running back and forth up to these little boxes in the back of the room, which are little broadcast units. So
and you were down there with a Sharpie.
So I was down there with the Sharpie with this guy, and he's explaining to it, and I had a little tape of it, which I'll pop on here at the end, and you can see how he explains it. And there are these massive fans blowing to keep things cool, because it is air conditioned, but it needs to stay very, very cold because all the uplink equipment is there. And then all of a sudden there's a ramp, and you start to walk up this ramp, and the ceiling begins to shrink, and you realize you're now in the shallow end of the swimming pool.
God.
And the roof of the press room floor is literally pressing down. So I'm bent over, and the photo that's up between us right now is one of me on my hands and knees signing the White House swimming pool
in the shallow end.
In the shallow end. Now, this is the pool that JFK and Marilyn Monroe apparently in, and we also have, FDR would use it to strengthen his back and exercises. So, the historic swimming pool is covered over by the Brady press room.
So when did it
floor.
become the press room then? The press area was built on it.
Is he
by Johnson,
Carter? Carter administration?
Okay.
I think it was Jimmy Carter who took the swimming pool out, because what happened is that the West Wing itself is relatively new. The mansion itself used to be where everything
Teddy Roosevelt, wasn't it? Was it?
I think so. I'm really terrible on my mansion history, but there's this long corridor, and on one side of it is the press room. There's also the bowling alley and the family theater, and then the offices of the West Wing, including the Oval, are there. It's about a 2-story building, and it's really quite attractive.